All right, now, oh, all hell broke out. But now look at that. My little army defended me, and now they're going back to their color-coded stations. How did I get my critters to behave so well, like such a well-trained little army? I'm going to show you the secret today. You too can have dinos that listen to you and do what you want. The key is just knowing how to command them using Ark's system of whistles. So hello, my fine feathered friends, and welcome. I'm Songbird, and I'm glad to see you here. I'm here to save you time with tutorials and reviews and inspire your creativity with my approach to building and problem solving in Ark and other survival games. Come join the flock and forget about your stress for a while. All right, fam, let's get into it. Now, first of all, I'm just going to really briefly go through the different whistle commands, the ones that are the most important, because I'm going to be using these throughout the rest of the video. So you need to know from the start what exactly these are. And I am in creative mode. It just makes it easier for me to show you stuff if I can fly in order to show you kind of a top-down or view at a distance. So I've got all my critters separated into color-coded groups, but we're going to mess that up by going to whistle, move here. And then everybody's going to move there, except for some who apparently were too far away. Come on, you guys. There. Now they are in a lovely mix, a big pile of all of these rainbow colors all mixed up together. Okay, first of all, we're going to start by talking about the ignore group whistles command. This is an important one, but I only use it for dinos that are never going to leave base, any that I'm never going to take out on adventures, because yes, you're a homebody, right, little guy? You don't want to go out on adventures anywhere. So yes, he's on ignore group whistles, and my breeders are on ignore group whistles. And let's put the dodos on there. To do this, you just go on to behavior, and oh, you guys need to be on passive as well. So passive, and then ignore group whistles. We'll do that, and then copy settings to nearby dodos, because I don't really need any battle dodos at the moment. So now all of these dodos are on ignore group whistles and passive. And the monkey is as well, because I don't usually take monkeys out anywhere, but I like to have one at base, at home, just as a house pet sometimes. If I did want to take it out on adventures, though, I would go back in and turn group whistles on, because just in the off chance that something happens, I get killed, I need to go back to recover my body. If I need to whistle it from a distance to come to me, it's just a lot easier to be able to whistle by just hitting J, follow all, rather than having to put my crosshairs over it directly. All right, so now that all of my indoor dinos and breeders, and of course, usually I would have a heck of a lot more dinos than this, but this is just a sample base that I built like an hour ago, just for the sake of this video. So yeah, all of our breeders are on ignore group whistles. These guys are in kind of a mess here, but here, let's sort them out. I'm going to put all the moss chops in one whistle group. That will help with sorting these all out by species. We can add the whole class to a group, so you can be in group 10. And now let's go through the whistle commands, and make sure to stay until the end, because I've got a free gift for you that'll help you remember all of these whistle commands. Okay, so first off is passive. Passive will, just like it says, sit there, do nothing, go nowhere, don't defend yourself, don't fight, don't do anything, just sit there. We whistle passive, then they will do nothing, even if an enemy attacks. So you do need to be careful about leaving all of your dinos on passive, of course. See, they'll just sit there. So if I whistle them to attack my target, though, yeah, that guy's toast. Except for the moss chops. Yeah, the moss chops are not great fighters at all. Yeah, they're little cowards. All right, buddies, let's whistle all the moss chops then to over here. That is one of my favorite commands that I use the most. That is the move here command, which on PC it's comma by default. And then you guys can be on passive. So let's whistle you to passive so that you won't run off next time something attacks. And then I'll show you a little example that I made earlier to illustrate the difference between attack my target and neutral and aggressive. But I'm going to show you how to set up the whistle groups. First of all, let's get organized here. Let me show you how to turn on toggle extended HUD, because this one's really handy. So if you go into your settings here and UI, under UI, and you scroll down here, toggle extended HUD info. This one's really useful on PC, at least by default. I assume it's probably the same on console. You have to hold down a particular button. On PC, it's H, in order to bring up the extended HUD, which tells you the temperature, your location, the time, the day, all of that kind of stuff. If you turn this on, then instead of having to hold that button down, you can just toggle it on and off. So see, I've got the extended HUD on. I can hit H, turn it off, hit H, turn it on. And I like this because it lets me see which whistle group is active. Now, there used to be an easy way to see it without that. There used to be a little thing with arrows above the heads of the dinos when you would switch whistle groups, or when you would turn on extended HUD, there would be a little green arrow over the heads of all the dinos that were in the currently active whistle group, or all your tames if you did not have a whistle group active. And it would be yellow above the heads of those who are on ignore group whistles, so that it was easy to tell which ones were on ignore group whistles. But for some reason, that's no longer a thing. And I don't know if it's just me and I accidentally turned it off or broke it somehow, or if it's an ASA thing. If anybody knows, please let me know in the comments, because that would make things so much easier. But since I don't have that, if I'm going to be using whistle groups, I usually just turn on my extended HUD so that I can see up at the top of the screen which ordering group is currently active. All right, and then there are two ways of putting dinos into ordering groups, and I tend to use both of them. The first one is the simplest, but the second one also really comes in handy. So the first one, you just go up to a dino of the particular species. You saw me do it a second ago with the moss chops. Go into modify ordering groups, and then you go to add class to group. The classes in group one, I already did that. You do need to keep in mind, though, there are a few cases where dinos share a class, like raptors and Deinonychus. Whenever Valguero comes out, they're in the same class. So if you make a class with raptors, if you have any Deinonychus nearby, those will be in the same group. And then I have all of the raptors are in group 2. And so let me show you what that looks like. We will sort them by species now. Group 1 is active, and the dimorphs do tend to scatter a bit. You know what? And you guys crawling all over the ground. You look kind of silly. Why don't you just fly, guys? Seriously. But there's our colorful little dimorph army. And then 2 for the raptors. And there they go. All the raptors are in that group. So we can sort them out this way. And then, of course, all the moss chops are in that group. But then I have also set them up. It takes a while, but you can go through in each creature individually. You can also add them to a group. If you go to ordering groups and you go to add creature to group, that will not affect the whole species. That will just affect this specific dino. This can be useful if you want to set up a group, for example, with your favorite shoulder pet and your favorite dinos that you'll be riding around, like maybe your favorite RG, your favorite Thyla, whatever, so that if you're in a pinch, just need to whistle for those creatures, then you can. I have sorted mine out by color, and I've gone through and individually added the different colors of creatures to different whistle groups. And so let me show you what that looks like. Group 3 is all of the red dimorphs and raptors together. So comma, move there. And some of them are stuck. They'll try to go. Eventually they'll give up, though, if they're stuck. And then group 4 is the yellow raptors and dimorphs. So let's put you guys over here for now. And And once we finish getting them untangled, I'll whistle them again. Okay, and then the 5 is the green raptors, I believe. Yes. 6 is the blue raptors. Here, let's whistle you guys over here to start with, and then back over here. Just making sure you're untangled. All right, and then there. Now you guys are all sorted. Oh, no. Helps if you can remember your groups. If you have some that you use a lot, you can write them down and put them next to your screen. I've done that before to help me remember. Let's put the blue dimorphs over here. There we go. And they're trying desperately hard to get into that one little spot that I whistled to. So sometimes they'll do that. But I'll show you a way that they don't do that and they don't act quite so annoying. All right, so those are the groups that I have set up. And now I can also set their behaviors individually. So for example, if I only wanted, what are you doing over there, yellow? Anyway, if I only wanted, say, the blue dimorphs to be my protection squad for the moment, and I wanted everybody else to stay on passive so that they would not scatter and make a mess every single time a seagull comes over and pecks somebody on the nose. Speaking of pecking, make sure to peck the like button. But let's turn off the whistle group for a second and then whistle for everybody to be on passive. And then we will turn group 7 on and whistle for you guys to follow. Oh, that was green. You know what? That's going to bug me probably, isn't it? There. The blue ones can follow you. And you guys can be on attack my target. And then let's grab you. Whistle for group 7. So all the green ones are now following you. And they are on attack my target. We'll put them over here. So we've kind of got some defenses on multiple different sides. And if you set that up, then the nice thing is if you've got the rest of your dinos arranged a particular way, if you've got all your creatures set up in neat rows or whatever, they won't all get themselves into a tangled mess. So if we have an enemy coming down the beach here, you see everything is staying passive except those protection dimorphs. Everything else is staying still, doing what it's supposed to, and they deal with the problem, and then they go back to their anchors. If you want a video with more details on anchor dinos, I'll link that one down below. I just made a video on that. It's a great method. I really, really love the anchor method of setting up your base protection because for one thing, I don't like having big ugly gates all around my bases. I like to build somewhere that has some natural defenses, like up high on an island like this, and then set up my protection squads and call it good. Because that way I can enjoy the view. I don't have to have big ugly gates everywhere. Obviously, I'm a PvE player and not at all ashamed of it. I love PvE art, not into PvP. So to switch whistle groups, I just need to hit the number of the group on my number pad on my keyboard. I believe that on consoles, there is a button on your controller. I don't know which one. I'm not a console player, but there's a button to bring up a radial that you would choose the whistle group on the radial. Please let us know in the comments which button that is and help out the other console players. I would appreciate it. So to cancel the whistle group and make it so you have no group active and all your dinos will respond to your whistles in an area, you just need to hit the number again of whatever group is active. Oh, and by the way, if you'd like a tutorial for this cute little starter hut that I built, just let me know in the comments and I'll try to do that. I do like how it turned out, and it was actually very easy to build. Oh, and let me just also make clear for everybody, but especially PC players, you have to use the number pad on your keyboard in order to assign whistle groups. It will not work if you just hit the numbers at the top of your keyboard, the ones that you use for your hotbar slots. That does not work. It's a different key. You can't even rebind them to be those keys as far as I'm aware. The whistle groups have to be on a number pad, but the nice thing is you can get a dedicated number pad like this, even if you don't have one on your keyboard. I'm using a special ergonomic keyboard that didn't come with a number pad. And so I just bought this on Amazon. It was $20, just plugs in with a USB.
Console players can do that too. I've talked to console players. You guys have USB ports on your machines as well. You can plug in a number pad like this.
So I threw a link in the description for the number pad. I think this is the one that I have, if not this one very, very similar. And it's even cheaper than when I bought it. And this is from my Amazon affiliate shop, by the way, which I just finished setting up. So if you're curious about my content creation setup, I don't have my PC in here yet. I'm in process of trying to make a new one or gather parts for a new one. So it might be a little while. Here's another number pad that I was also considering. And when my current one dies, I'll probably get this one because I like the rainbow colors. Anyway, this is my mouse. This is the chair that I use. They're low stock in that color, so I threw a couple other colors in there as well. I do make a small commission on things ordered through my Amazon affiliate shop. It's very small. It's like pennies on the dollar. But if you're going to buy stuff anyway, I'd be grateful if you use my link. And I did set up some other lists if you want to browse just for fun. I've got one that's stuff I can't live without. This is what me and my husband order from Amazon all the time, like almost every month. And then I've got one of novelty gifts, which is just silly, fun, goofy stuff that just kind of makes me smile. And I thought it might make you smile as well if you need to inject a little more fun into your life. And who doesn't, to be honest? A lot of it's dinosaur related stuff. Like, seriously, what woman does not need a dinosaur shaped purse? Hello, I think all of us do. And I think everybody needs a dinosaur tape dispenser on their desk, of course. Anyway, a lot of dinosaur stuff, a lot of goofy stuff. So yeah, you could look through there just for fun if you want to. And then healthy snacks for gamers. And a lot of these are things that I've ordered before, or they're from brands that I've used before. Most of these, though, are things that are my favorite snacks. Just if you're looking for some options for some healthy or healthier snacks for while you're gaming, just, check it out. Thank you very much. You can use this for whistle commands, but I'm usually in a rush. I'm whistling in emergency situations, and when I'm whistling for all my dinos to follow me out of danger, I don't need to be looking up a radial and then trying to remember which one I'm looking for. You can rebind your behavior whistles and your follow whistles over here. I still have mine on defaults. That's what I've used since the beginning, since I learned how to use them. But you can rebind those if it makes more sense for you. All right, I'm going to get the rest of these guys following anchor dinos, just because it makes it a lot easier to move them around and organize them. So let's grab you. Group 3. Yeah, you definitely want to turn on this extended HUD if you're going to be using whistle groups, because otherwise you risk forgetting that you had a group active, and then you hit the button to choose that group and you end up turning it off. And oops. Yeah. And then you have to sort everybody out again. If you do whistle for all follow, which by the way on PC is J, you can also whistle all unfollow by hitting U. And then they'll stop following. Some people will say, I've seen this advice so many times over the years, oh, I just unbind the J key. Just unbind the J key so you don't hit it by accident and mess up all your dinos. I really don't recommend doing that. If you are afraid of hitting it by accident, then just bind it to a different key that's farther away on your keyboard, or that you're less likely to hit by accident. But it can be invaluable in certain situations, like if you're using a group. And then you can hit J for the whole group instead of having to whistle for the dinos individually. What? Oh, geez, did I not I did it again, didn't I? Dang it. Give me a minute here. Cue goofy, I'm an idiot themed music.
protection squads all spread out around the base. And the nice thing about doing it this way is if you don't have them following different anchors, then they'll get bunched up on whatever side was attacked the most recently. You know, you had a raptor attack on this side, then they'll all be on this side. And then if something attacks from the other side, that side won't be protected. So yeah, this way they'll return to their anchors and won't leave areas unprotected. And I have learned this through trial and error over many years and many times of getting my base attacked and bad things happening. We've been through the wars a bit, as everybody who plays Ark. All right. Got you guys all nicely spread out. And then I'm going to show you, I ran around and did some recording earlier on to illustrate just out in the field, as it were, out running around with some dinos, what the whistle commands and group look like and how they can be used and what the difference is between neutral and attack my target. A lot of people don't really understand that and kind of think they're the same and use them interchangeably. They are not. So make sure to stick around and watch that. We'll do that in just a sec here. And also we're going to go through why you should never put your dinos on aggressive, with extremely rare exceptions. Extremely rare. Pretty much just if you're using a dino leash, like an electronic tech dino leash. Other than that, don't put them on aggressive, and I'll show you why. And then I'll show you what the free gift is that I have for y'all. It's not a trick to get you to buy anything. It seriously is just a free gift. So stick around for that, and we'll be right back. I'm just going to put you guys on neutral, just to show the difference between neutral and attack my target. So let's put you guys, dimorphs, can also be on neutral. And we'll put you guys right here. Help, guys, help. See, they're on neutral. So on neutral, their priority is defending themselves. So they're not going to respond even if I'm in range unless they actually feel threatened, unless I'm close enough that they think that they might be hit, basically. Come on, guys, help. And over there, the raptors are fighting compies. Come on, guys, here. There, I had to whistle for them to attack before they finally responded. And now they got close enough. I got close enough that they noticed. But see, they've stopped and they're just standing there. Because on neutral, they prioritize defending themselves. So if I come close, if any of them get hit, then they'll respond. So you need to keep that in mind. A lot of people get attack my target and neutral mixed up. That is the difference. On attack my target, they prioritize defending you and the tribe. On neutral, they prioritize defending themselves. They will still defend you, but if they're close enough to you that they were also threatened themselves. So if enemies attack from multiple sides, or if multiple enemies attack, they will prioritize whichever enemy is attacking them directly. Whereas on attack my target, they will prioritize whichever one is attacking you, or whichever one you are attacking, which is a very important distinction. Okay, guys, follow me and everybody be on attack my target. So yeah, the only time really that I leave my dinos on neutral is if I am leaving like a single dino somewhere out in the wilderness for a minute. Like if I need to leave a creature out of the way while I go tame something and I don't want it to be attacked or something like that. Usually I'll try to perch it up high out of reach of whatever might attack me, but I'll also put it on neutral just so if compies or bugs or whatever try to attack it, it'll be able to defend itself. There you go. Just for giggles' sake, I'll try putting them on neutral again. See, I'm over here being attacked, and they waited until that one was dead before they came and attacked, and before they came and helped me. I'm on a creative, so it doesn't really matter, but I just wanted to show you the behavior. Look, if you've ever wondered why your dinos just stood there while you were getting attacked, that would be why. And it wasn't hitting me because of the whole creative mode thing. But normally, if it had done damage to me when they were close by, they would have done that. And I want a pretty purple Therizino. Excuse me, guys, just a second. Hello there, pretty purple orphan Therizino. What level are you? 7. Dang it, of course you are. It is the law of the arcs that any pretty dino is bound to be low level. I'm going to get out of creative mode so that things can damage me, and then I'll run around like that for a bit so you can see how it's different. You see, these dimorphs aren't coming to help the others, though, because the enemy wasn't close enough to them to threaten them. And that's why it can sometimes seem unpredictable if your dinos will help you or not. If they're on neutral, they might and they might not. So let's put them back on attack my target, which you should double check though. There was a bug when ASA first came out, and I've heard that it has reoccurred a few times on consoles and stuff, but there's a bug where if you put your creatures on attack my target, it actually puts them on aggressive, which you don't want that, because if they're on aggressive, all hell breaks out. See, on aggressive, you never want to put your creatures on aggressive, because this is what happens. They will run around attacking everything alive in their general vicinity until there's nothing left alive in the area, or until they are dead. They will spread out. They will get more and more widely apart. They won't listen to you whistling because they're on aggressive. You have to whistle them to passive or attack my target, so that they'll focus on what you want them to attack instead of just attacking absolutely everything. Aggressive can be very dangerous. I used to sometimes put my base defense dinos on aggressive, like my dimorph pack, and it was really handy because they would wipe out seagulls that even got close, the ichthyornis, rather than waiting for the ichthyornis to attack them. But it's not ideal if there's anything in the area that you would rather they not aggro. Like, for example, if Brontos come wandering by, Brontos normally won't bother your base unless they're fighting something. But yeah, creatures on aggressive will go and fight them, and then their tail sweeps will do damage to your base and kill your creatures, and it's very bad. Even worse if a Titanosaur happens to wander by. So yeah. You have to kind of weigh the pros and cons, the risks versus the benefits. Some people will say that, oh yeah, in a boss arena, I'll whistle aggressive. No, if you do that, they'll be impossible to control and they'll be spread out all over the arena and they won't really be helping each other. See, now everybody's going to help. Oh, and if you need help with remembering the different behavior stances, just let me turn my camera back on here for a second. If you need help with remembering the different whistles, like it took me a long time to remember them as well, then I've actually made a resource for you for free that you can print out. I made a little printable here with the Ark whistles, just the most used ones. And I have that on my Patreon page for free. You don't have to become a paid Patreon to get it. You just have to visit the page and become a free Patreon, and then you can have access to it, download it, print it out, tape it next to your monitor so that when you're panicking and can't remember which whistle is which, you can glance over at that and be reminded. The semicolon for passive stance equals attack my target stance, minus is neutral stance, comma is move here, period is attack this target, J is follow all, U is all stop following, T is just you follow me, and Y is just you stop following, which is really handy, by the way. Here, let me just show you that real quick. So if I use this, for example, if for some reason I can whistle Y and just that one raptor will stop following me. Like if I wanted to spread them out or something. Oh, see, they're on attack my target, so they're still going back to defend it, even though it was a little ways away. Because it's still the same, it's still the tribe, even though that little guy is not following anymore. And then if I wanted to whistle for him to follow me, I can either just whistle J, or if there were other dinos in the area that I did not want to follow, then I can just put your crosshairs over it and whistle T. Yep. And that creature will follow. And the nice thing about the Y for stop following is that also works if it's following something else. Like they're following that moss chops. They're not following me. But if I whistle this little guy here to T, now he's following me and not the moss chops. So these commands are really useful for managing your dino army. And then back on here, whistle J again. That follow all whistle is really handy. And with all of these commands, if you have a whistle group active, the group commands will only apply to the dinos that are in that group. Anyway, I hope this was helpful, showing you how to set up whistle groups, how to use them, and also teaching you the difference between some of the whistle commands and the behavioral stances. And if you've watched to this point, please put an emoji in the comment section. How about your favorite color of heart? Have a great day. Songbird out.